When we are talking about mental health issues, what would you say? What are some of the most issues experienced by men?
Definitely anxiety around being able to provide is one of the biggest things. And I'm bringing that up because I've been part of men's groups and men's circles, and I've facilitated some of mine as well over the years. And it's one of the most common threads that comes up within maybe 2-3 meetings when we get acquainted. This is one of the main things, is where as men we want to provide. We want to be the one who is paying the house, the bills, and everything, because in our nature, that's how we were. Even when, hundreds of years ago, we were the hunters and we were providing a lot of that. And it translates in our genes to now. However,
and also the role of the woman was to surrender to their man.
Exactly.
To feel the safety around them.
Yes. Yeah. So by providing and by being the man of the house, or the head of the house, we were obviously in our masculine, and then a woman could feel feminine because she was safe, she was provided for, and then she could care for the family. She would be able to be much more loving, caring, and then be like a beautiful addition to the whole family life, right? And creating that family life where men, we would be busy, making sure that there is enough resources, right? Yeah. But coming back to that, and that's one of the big pressures that men feel, is like, I need to provide. And obviously that base needs to be achieved, right? Yeah. And some men struggle with that because, for example, if you grew up in a household, I'm giving an example of mine, where it was my mom was the steady bread earner. My dad had always like entrepreneurial accolade, but it never really anything happened with it. He was making some money, but very unstable, which meant there was a lot of tension in the family house because of that, which meant for me that I've seen a very skewed version of how the household worked. Also many fights and aggression because of, I don't remember any other fights that my parents had except because of money. And that also...
I think that's a big thing in a lot of relationships and marriages.
And what it created was, it created this tension that it translated to me as a young boy, as a young man as well. And also the like a role model that I had from my upbringing was that the wealthy and abundant people were not necessarily good people. That was the view of my parents, and I saw that soaked in through me. And it took me years to realize that it was limiting my way of making money in the future.
Because you're making a good point, but I think also in Germany, a lot of people have this idea of rich people or successful people. Yeah. And that's a whole other topic, but just to maybe get a glimpse of it, it's like, it is okay to be successful, and it is okay to make money because you deserve it when you are building something.
Of course.
But that's a whole different understanding of what the average people have. So also in our hometown, or when we talk with our friends, a lot of them, when they see someone successful, they're like, I don't know if they're, they don't really like that they are successful. What's the English word for it?
It's like envy or jealousy.
Jealousy, thank you. They're jealous because, I mean, there are different reasons why they are jealous, but it's not a positive feeling they combine with successful people. So it's hard to go over that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big hump to go over, and it took me years to realize, a few sessions of hypnotherapy and a few other things to realize that I was limiting myself. But And I also believe, and this story is not to say this is my parents' fault. You know, they had their experiences and they did the best they could, right? Yeah. However, what I like to say to everyone where it comes to healing or therapy or any of situations where we become aware of a shortcoming that we might have or a specific programming that we are reliving because of our upbringing. I like to say the moment we become aware that it's in our cycles or how we live our life, we become responsible for it. So we know where it came from, but the moment I was aware of it, it was my only responsibility. It's not my parents' responsibility to fix it.
Yeah.
I can tell them, hi guys, I think this is where it came from, and you can deal with it on your own. But it's my responsibility then as a person, as a man, to heal it for myself, because otherwise I'll be spilling it over people that I meet, you know, friends, family, and then limiting myself as well.